Hi, welcome back to another episode of If These Old Coveralls Could Talk. Oh, no, wait. Wrong show, wrong show. This is a Coyote swap video. That's right. Welcome. Haha. All right, you ready? T-Bird Coyote swap. Ready to get back into it. Big time now. Let's take a look, see what I got going on. Big progress. So let's take a peek. All right, so what do we got going on today? Well, plans are in place to move the car over to a friend's shop, and we're going to go ahead and put this thing together and make it a roller over there on his lift. Got a much safer, better plan getting this together. First things first, I got some work to do in here. I removed the original sway bar from the car, and I'm going to be cutting the spot welds and removing the original sway bar brackets so the engine and transmission combo can go in from the bottom. Basically, we're going to assemble the engine trans and headers on a cart, and we're going to roll it underneath the car, and then with the lift, we're going to lower the car down on top of everything. That's really about the only way to get this combo in the car. So I got a little bit of work to do under here. Gonna cut those off, then I'll go ahead and redress the frame rails, get that cleaned up, touch up some of my paint where I butchered everything trying to pull this motor out. Again, this is not a show car. This is just a fun street car, so I don't have to make it look Chip Foose-like. But I want it to look halfway decent. So we'll get all this done here real quick, get these knocked out. We'll get the K-member back up in the car, spindles converted to coilovers, simplify things, I think. And once it's a roller over here, have the motor, obviously. So I have all my components. I have my flex plate, the index plate, all the bolts, everything for the 4R75. Here are my new Ultimate stainless steel headers, 1 7/8". I went and bought band clamps, so I'll go ahead and I'll weld those on. So we'll have band clamp collectors on it. I have a shifter coming. Big shout out to Ron Hartman. He's another T-Bird part supplier guy. Hooked me up with a nice OEM AOD shifter that should work in this car perfectly. I'm excited to see that and see how it fits. So thank you, Ron. I was dreading trying to find a shifter or having to go to a yard and have to tear a car apart and pull one out. So save me a bunch of work. So anyway, let's get into this. Let's get this front end put back together, make this car a roller, and then we will get it loaded up in the trailer. All right, so step one is I reinstalled my Maximum Motorsports camber caster plates. I just had some stock ones on there temporarily. So I have these back on. Those will work nicely with the coilovers. So now I'm going to get out the spot weld cutters and drill all those out and knock those off. Let's do that. All right, started drilling out spot welds. Interesting that I haven't even chiseled on that yet. The sway bar bracket was already ripping off the frame rail. I never noticed that before. So that'll be interesting. I'll probably end up with a hole there I'll have to patch up and weld shut. But anyway, getting her cut off. All right, it turns out the grinder was the better job or better tool for the job. So just like I thought, part of that bracket was already tearing off the frame rail. So it came off with it, no big deal. I'll end up cutting that out, squaring it off, making a patch for it. So not the end of the world. Get that done, then get it all repainted in here. Touch it up a bit. So let's gotta do the other side. All right. Hit it with some primer. I'm gonna get that side all sealed up. I already have paint left over. Had this mixed up. This is the same race red as the rest of the car. That'll match everything there really well. And voila, like they were never there. So on the passenger side here, what I did was I drilled some holes in the corner, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, square it up, so it'll make it easier to make a patch panel for. So, got those drilled, and get out my body saw, and I'm going to cut those out. There we go. That'll be much easier to make a patch panel for and get that welded in. Okay, got my little patch panel fit. I'm going to go ahead and tack that in place and get it all welded up. I know I've caught some shit from other people about all the other Swiss cheese in the engine compartment, but honestly, I'm not worried about all that other crap. It is what it is. Like I said, this is not no show car, but hell, even like this, it's still good enough for SEMA, so that's good enough for me. So let's get this welded in and get her smoothed out. Okay, weld it in. Now let's grind it up, make it look good. And voila. Okay, for a trans cooler, I decided to spend the money and get probably one of the best styles out there. So I got this Durelli cooler. This is a stacked plate style cooler. There's the part number I got. And here is the cooler. It's a nice kit. Comes with O-ring fittings. Gives you some barb to -6 fittings. I won't be using those. I'll be using straight -6 line. Gives you some nice mounting options. I like the different tabs, top and bottom. And I whipped up a bracket. And the bracket I made is this. This is going to sit, it's actually going to bolt to the front of my lower core support tube and hold the cooler right in front of the radiator. So I'm not using them stupid zip tie things that go through the tubes of the radiator and the cooler and stuff. So this will get bolted right to the core support. And here, I'll show you. Car has a tubular core, so basically it's going to butt right up against the front of that tube and sit right there, which is a nice place because front fascia in this car has got that nice big opening down there for air. So that should work out really good. Okay, I have my transmission cooler mounted. Drilled in, had one snap off, but oh well, there's 3 on top and 2 in the front, so she's on there good, not going nowhere. I'm gonna get the cooler mounted in there now. And voila, cooler is mounted. Like that, right in front of the open mouth of the fascia. They're real good. Turned out good. All right, big decision time. What to do with these? Washer bottle and my Volvo power steering pump. I made a bracket, kind of whipped up. Nice simple bracket. Bolt the pump to. And what I'm noticing is the T-Bird, the front fenders, the fascia, the header is different enough that all the styles of brackets and everything in the way that Mustang guys are mounting them doesn't really pertain to this car. So came up with a different idea of my own on how to mount this. And I'm sure this is going to be a really popular option. Peanut gallery. Put a hole in my Scott Rod panels. So filler neck. I just didn't like the idea. Everyone mounts these pumps so you can't get to the filler cap. They're trapped, back here in the fender somewhere. That's just dumb to me. So I'm going to mount it in a way that it's going to poke up right through that hole. And yes, I'm going to be putting another hole right there for the washer bottle. I just want to keep this simple, keep the washer bottle in its stock location. It is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and drill holes, clean these up, and then I'll have to, I'm going to remove them, repaint them, and then I'll rivet them back in place once I'm happy with how everything's located. So there it is. No going back now. I put a hole in it. So that's what it'll look like roughly. I just got the pump up there in place. See, it's kind of hanging down right there. Don't think that's going to interfere with the wheel at all. And from this side, there it is. Lines are facing the rack, basically. So before I finalize anything, I'm going to throw the K-member back in and then throw a wheel on it, turn it lock to lock, but I don't suspect that's going to be anywhere near interfering with the wheel. So there it is. Take my nice simple bracket. I'll add on to that from that location there, tie it into the frame rail and the fender apron, and it doesn't interfere with where the window washer bottle has to go either. So bonus. That's how I'm doing it. Okay, I got the Scott Rod panels back in. I ended up taking them out, repainted them, got them all modified for the window washer bottle, the Volvo pump, and I did not want the battery in the trunk of this car. I wanted it under the hood in the stock location still, just to simplify things. So I got a reproduction battery tray for a 79 to 86 Fox body. Had to add some holes to the Scott Rod panel. So this is all bolted in now. Got a new battery. It's a Group 56 battery. It's kind of a goofy size, but it's narrow. Hopefully it's not too tall. I think it's going to be okay with the hood. So we'll find out. But yeah, got everything all cleaned up, repainted, clear coated under here. Kind of bummed. I bought those camber caster little I don't know what you call them, camber caster plate little covers that sit on top of your strut tower before you put your camber caster plates on to help protect the paint. I got them from Maker's Garage here in Michigan. I knew T-Birds, they have their own camber caster plates, but I guess I assumed that same 3-bolt pattern was the same for all Fox bodies. And it was just my camber caster plates that were different. Well, the reason those are different is because that 3-bolt pattern is different than a Mustang on a T-Bird, Just stupid. So unfortunately, those nice stainless black plates that I bought from Maker's Garage don't fit this car. So I don't know. I put out sent them an email to see if it's possible to maybe get a set made for this car. But I don't know. We'll see. I was kind of holding off on putting the K member and the whole front suspension in. I've been waiting for these to show up. They show up today, and I'm thinking, yeah, I can put this all together, and they don't fit. So I may just have to push ahead and just get all this installed and deal with those later if I can get a set made. So I don't know. Anyway, making progress. Next thing is getting the finalized the mounting bracket for the Volvo pump so I can get that up into place, and then I can call that done, and then maybe make the lines for that next. So I got a little creative with the cherry picker, and I got K member back up in place. I got the bolts all loosely in, so I just gotta get these all tight, and the front suspension can all go back in for the drive over to my buddy's house so we can take it all back apart again. And I got the other panel all riveted back in place. That's done. So let's get this thing a roller. All right, it's a roller. Front end's all back together except for the steering shaft. Just gotta piece that together. Man, coilovers for the win. I think I just borrowed the springs because I really don't know what rate to go with yet. So I think these are 12-inch 175s. These are more of a drag race spring. But man, that stance with no motor in it whatsoever, that's money. I like that. So, zoom. There we go. Team ZK member back in. Rack is in. Got the camber caster plates. Just everything is just loosely thrown together. Everything is finger tight because obviously it's all coming apart. It's all got to drop out as soon as it goes up on the lift. So we got to pull the K member back out of the car. And then by that time, I'll have the motor and the trans sitting assembled on this cart. And we'll just roll underneath the car. So now I can go ahead, grab the motor, and we can put these together. Let's do that. Okay, there is motor trans bolted together. I'm test fitting the headers. Got a few other little issues to work through, but this will have its own video in regards to just the transmission setup and what it's taking to get all this to work together in a Fox body. So stay tuned for another video on just that. But for this video, this is the cart. This is how everything's going to go up into the car. So obviously, car is loaded up in the trailer now, strapped down, so we're good to go there. I just need to get this. A couple other little details finished up on this with the starter, collectors welded on the headers, and yeah, this can get loaded up in the trailer next. So yeah, I think we're done here. I think we're done with this video. Next time we pick it up with this part of it, we'll be at my friend Brad's house, and we'll be throwing the car on the lift and setting it down over top of this. All right, car is all loaded up. Getting ready to take it to the next shop, and we're going to get this thing assembled. Next, once this is all finished, strapped down, I got the motor and trans all bolted together, and we're going to use the cherry picker. We're going to set it right in through here. So I think I got plenty of room in the trailer still. So, yep, motor, trans, cart, get it all in here. Then we're off to my buddy Brad's house. Get this thing put together for the final time. Very exciting. All right, so that's going to wrap up this video, I think. We have everything ready to go here into the trailer. Car's loaded up, strapped down. So we'll pick it up at my buddy Brad's barn where we're putting this all together. stay tuned. In the meantime, there'll probably be a separate video on just the automatic transmission stuff. I hadn't seen a video specifically to Fox bodies in regards to using the 4R transmission, so put together my own little video on what it's taken me to get this far with this project, and man, it's been a lot of hurdles. So anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, share it, leave me a comment, all that jazz. Thank you very much. Bye.